Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to the Sunless Sea, where we have decisions to make. We could either go north, turn in our colors over at Venderbite, then make our way over to Zealport and just go through our regular route through the north, or we could explore this uncharted area of the Z. Now, me being a person of explorative tastes, which is a terrible way of describing that, I intend to go south, because we actually have a decent amount of fuel and supplies with which to do so. Not so good on terror, but again, tons of fuel so I can keep the lights on, which will hopefully prevent our sailors from getting too terrified. Hopefully. Maybe. Or maybe not. Who could say? But we will be fine. Well, I'll be fine. The sailors maybe not. And my god, they do go through fuel at an alarming rate. Huh. I'm starting to rethink whether or not I'm going to keep that light on for him. You, however, you are dead, and we're going to now eat you. Goodbye. Now we'll make a stop at Mutton Island at the very least, and, turn out the lights. They don't need them. They're right near home. It's only Terror 38. You guys are fine. You guys are just fine. Oh, the Z is terrifying, is it? Humph, I say. And more food. Delightful. They also seem to get hungry very quickly. Huh, it's almost like they're crewing a ship. And, sailing. But anyway, let's chat to the fisherman. And visit this hilltop, which I believe just gives us secrets. Yep, secrets. Secrets are good. Speaking of secrets, actually, I should probably build up some of my stats. Veils, in particular, is looking a little bit low. Are you the one to speak to about that? No, but we could speak to you about hearts, and that wouldn't be the worst of ideas. Let's, increase that. Oh, this might be new for me. An educational lesson. The doctor is methodical and scrupulous. You spend an informative afternoon and learn much. However, when you ask detailed questions on the anatomy of the eye, he grows reticent and soon ends the conversation, complaining of a headache. That's a rather insensitive topic for me to, pry into. I mean, sure, you've lost your eye, but surely you know the anatomy of the eye. Wow, good job. Oh, me, oh my. There's the sound. I'm sorry, what? How did that horrible creature get aboard the ship? There is a sorrow spider on my ship. I mean, smash the sorrow spider with a flung boot. Good lord. A relief. The haunted doctor breathes easier. He rummages for a hidden bottle, drinks deep. I apologize, citizen. It is not that I am a cowardly man, merely... He sighs. I was not Neath-born. When I ventured here, I knew nothing of claymen. Had hardly imagined I might one day share a hansom cab with a charismatic devil. I had never even heard tell of the sorrow spiders whose web catch men's minds as easily as their bodies. Have you visited the observatory where they nest? I suspect not. His hand trembles. It was a full year I found myself there with the lady. She wrapped me in silk and her children kept me warm. She gave me her sight and all she asked in return was my eye. Intriguing. It was a dream I cannot call a nightmare, yet one I awoke from with shivers and a revelation. If it is in light that such sorrow breeds, only in darkness could there be hope. In the liberation of night, I believed I saw hope for us all. I was misguided, but that story you know. Please, I would return to my duties. Intriguing. Tell me more. You have a request for us. He asks it quietly, almost with embarrassment, as he sutures a crewman's wound. A visit to Khan's shadow. Easily done. Our recent conversations have left me nostalgic, the haunted doctor admits. His voice shakes slightly, though his fingers do not. Should a suitable opportunity arise, I would remind myself that there are still those who dare to dream of a better world. It has been too long since I warmed my hands on such passion. He snips the thread. His work is, as ever, immaculate. What are you implying, sir? What exactly do you want to do at Khan's shadow? I'm interested and curious. But regardless, let's make a stop at the Cumaean Canal. Not going to go to the surface. I don't think I'm actually going to do that until we have a slightly better ship. Namely, the merchant cruiser, because I've heard you can actually make decent trading runs that make decent trading money with the merchant cruiser. Which I don't think is actually a cruiser, it's more of a freight ship, really. But I think that's what we're going to get next. It does mean we will have less combat potential, and I imagine we'll be much slower, but potentially I could just take a few moments to grind money off camera and then get us into that frigate. Possibly. Still not entirely sure what we want to do with that. But for the moment, the plan is simple. We're just going to go... Actually, get to Port Carnelian, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I can get my 7 sapphires from them, and we'll be all ready for the Venturer when the time comes. That's actually not a bad idea. Oh, and if I find Ayestival, I'll be able to resupply in a major way. Okay, I think I have the beginnings of a plan. Alright. Plans are forming. And this is the way to hell, right? Yep, there's the whirlpool. Yep. And there's the music. Ah. Sounds like home. I actually do think I would feel more at home in Hell or the Iron Republic than London. Oh, you children. Spin them a story. Rubies the size of grapes, and grapes the size of apples. Of course the island's only visible in blue light, and then only for an instant. But if we find it, my hearts, if we find it. They grin, they don't exactly believe it, but they'd like to. And it makes them less nervous. Always good, always good. Even if it does cost us a story. No, that wasn't me finding something. Okay. I thought that was the sound of me discovering something, which would be weird, because I've gone through this area a few times. Did someone just hear something squeak? Like a bat squeak? What was that? Gonna ignore it. I'm gonna assume that was something on my end, and not the game squeaking at me. We'll try to compile a port report. It's worked so well the last time. To record the Republic's events, it's like trying to sing wax or believe water. You do what you can, the third paragraph buds eyes. The date is fundamentally wrong. The full stops bite. You do what you can. Huh. Oh my. The streets won't lie straight and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. This is a delightful place. So who's in charge now? On days such as this, the market is filled with crucified dragons and laws in waiting. They whistle a welcome. Of course! The House of Milks. Oh yes, coffee and fuel drips from dragon teats. Brilliant. Okay. I think this is the cheapest we're going to get Dark Drop coffee from, if I remember right, which I might very well not. So let's buy our 5 for the gentleman. And some more fuel is always useful. By gentleman, Gentleman? Gentleman. That person. The person at the Khanate is what I originally meant. And I've been mispronouncing gentleman for far too long. Oh, dear me, what has happened to my ability to speak English? I used to be so much better at it. Back when I wasn't in the fog. Why are we in the fog? Come on, let's get out of it. Now, do I go to the Grand Geode, or do I just go directly... Oh! I never took a look at the Dawn Machine? Well, I mean... why not? Why would we not look upon the Dawn Machine? It's ended so well so many times before. Just a little peek. Nothing too terrifying, just, you know, a little look at the Dawn Machine. Unless they have their battleships in this area. Those little sun-touched sailors. Ugh. Disgusting people. Quick stop at Grand Geode first, though. That way we can be more terrified. But no, more seriously, I just want to get my port report from there, and then if I get too terrified, I'll just go on and go elsewhere. Or maybe we'll go with the the Dawn Machine. Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. And docking. Also, do you guys have a shop? No, you do not. This disappoints me. We'll compile our port report, though. Oh. Wow, they want 50 supplies. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Let's speak to someone in authority. This usually ends well. What is this place? A blank space in your memory. You saw the Commodore, and then there was something bright. You discussed matters of importance, you're certain of it. Teasing clues linger in your memory. A sailor asked to stay behind, and you permitted it because... It'll all come clear later, probably. The light, it's like nothing else in the Neath. And we gained 25 terror. Okay, well, that kind of kills a lot of my plans. Thanks. Thank you. That was very nice of you, Grand Geode. Ugh, disgusting people. Well, I guess we are going to be going to Port Carnelian because it's the closest. And then do we cut this short or do we go... I don't know if I want to cut this exploration trip short or if I want to go to the Mangrove College and then head on east, see what else is there. I do not know yet. I mean, I'm inclined to just keep going east for a little bit longer. We still have the fuel to do so, it's just a matter of supplies and terror being a bit too high. Does hearts help with that? Sometimes helps with tests around terror. I could build up more hearts, if necessary. Oh! Right, the Elder Continent. We actually haven't seen that, have we? I imagine it's on the southern coast. Well, for now. Let's get to Port Carnelian. And Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. For 20 echoes? Sure, why not? Ah, wonderful. Lost I could keep doing that too. We'll lose another 5 terror. And... ah, yes. We can insinuate an agent. Chancy, very chancy in fact. Let's improve our veils first. I believe you? Yep, you'll improve our veils. Just a wee bit higher. Maybe another bit. There we are. Do need some secrets for events, but if we could please insinuate an agent into Port Carnelian. Place is thick with spies who would notice another. Once your agent's in place, you can tap your network for information or use it to influence affairs. And it failed. Where are your reports? Where is your intelligence? Where, come to that, is your agent? Did they succumb to the intrigues of more callous, more experienced operatives? Apparently. Well. We'll help Maybe's daughter search for her mother. This one's a slender lead. She's been seen wearing sapphires, the daughter shrugs. This is where sapphires come from. Look, you were heading this way anyway, weren't you? Weren't you? Another failure. No luck. She hasn't been here in forever. I don't think she's coming back. So that's one port eliminated, and, I did pick up some sapphires here and there. Okay. You'll allow me to buy them. I'm not inclined to do so. And you'll let me buy Solace Fruit for way too much money. But supplies, I could go for those. And let's talk to a tiger in the Blue Bazaar. The Carnelian Coast's padding natives are eloquent, placid, and acerbic, most of the time. Trouble abroad. The Blue Bazaar is Port Carnelian's great indoor market. Arched, lofty, plush with patterned carpets where the vendors display their wares, most of all awash with gossip. The tiger chats about the banded prince, their supposed monarch, and his palace deep in the jungle. You lever the conversation onto the state of his people. He has no complaints, he says. Not even about the recent reinstatement of the travel restriction on natives, nor the report of a tiger killed at the jungle's edge. His tail flicks. Let's pan for sapphires. Failed and gained a little bit of terror, and can't do that more than once. But okay. I suppose we must buy our sapphires. We need 7 of them after all. Oh, this was poorly planned. Well, we will sell 1 bit of fuel for free. That actually hurts me to do that. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. It will be profitable in the end, and that is the point. It will be profitable, won't it? Guys, tell me it'll be profitable. Was he only paying 540 for that sapphires? I don't remember. I'm gonna assume that was a full 1,000 for the sapphires, just because it's 86 at Port Carnelian, and I can't imagine that I would be selling them for less. Unless I was. Oh. I'm slightly concerned. So concerned I didn't notice that the librarian's grotto is just a bunch of mushrooms. Not much of a grotto, really. It's just giant mushrooms. Of course, it's all giant mushrooms as far as the eye can see. Although this looks very green for, being under the earth. And what is this? We got a river here? Okay, this is a thing. Crystal Heights is some distance to the northeast. What? The killing wax wind blows from the south. Okay. Crying Heights. What the heck is that? Discover the Crying Heights. Oh, it's a landmass. Okay, fair enough. Oh god, no, not you. Not you, come on. Turn off the lights, turn off the lights. Hopefully they don't get attracted to us. Come on, just let us pass. Just let us pass. Oh, you. Found Andromeda's rocks. Okay, I think they're not noticing us, which is good. We'll hopefully make it through. Great. No islands in range. Not so great. Discovered Becker Blight? Becker Bite. I don't know what that is, but okay. How far? Oh, we are getting deep into unknown territory. Okay. That was unexpected. I expected there to be something on the south here, like some port. Because isn't the Elder Continent supposed to be on the southern landmass? Also, the fact that there's no other place for the Elder Continent to be and still be a continent. Adam's Way, a long way to the east. East it is, then. And we have signs of civilization and a port. Okay. Heading that way. Ah, civilization. Of a sort. A sort that worships the locust, question mark? Not sure what this is about. Adam's Way, on a bed of monumental ruins, warehouses and way stations of shroom timber rise. Near Adam's Way, all ships that approach Adam's Way are intercepted by the gracious, the Presbyterat's splendidly head-dressed ghost guards. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of 3 stories. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in port. Huh. Intriguing. The Presbyter has never explained its interest in devils. They're keen to hear what you learned in Mount Palmerston. Huh. Yes, why are foreigners only allowed to spend a single day in Adam's Way? For your own protection, one of them explains, kindly. Unsafe. The soil of the Elder Continent is dangerous to incomers, they claim. Those who linger can contract unfortunate conditions. Hysteria, rapture, animescence. And the rumors that Presbyterate law offers no protection to foreigners after dark? Errant nonsense, of course. But here, have some recent news. The gracious are always eager for news from London. A new day. Is their interest strategic, or do they just enjoy hearing about London's miseries? Regardless, they permit you to dock. The day has just begun. In the town square, a yellow-robed priestess plants a seed in a bed of black soil. No sooner has she patted down the soil than a tiny shoot pokes forth. By mid-morning it will be a sapling, by lunchtime a budding tree. By the evening's end it will wither and fall. You must be back on your ship before then. The tree of a single day is a hopeful sapling, green and budding. Intriguing. To the south, the Elder Continent and the 72 cornucopian kingdoms of the Presbyterate. Are the stories true? Rivers of honey, castles of ivory? Who can say? Foreigners, that's you, are forbidden from the interior. The closest most get is Adam's Way, a shouting, feasting, thieving riot of a port. The options available may change as the day progresses. The red table, you say? Interesting. Why, for just the cost of 1 echo? For the insignificant price of a single echo, the sober showman will lay the wonders of the Elder Continent directly at your feet. Intriguing. Although, assist at an animescence hospital, will that explain what animescence is? I am kind of torn between these 2 options. I suspect this is all about cannibalism. But, well, I can just look up animescence later. What are these, curiosities? You head toward the bright tents. Oh. Ooh. Cabinet of Curiosities, the Grotesquerie, or Shore Leave. I mean, pay for them to spend an improving day at the expedition. Well, that seems a little bit kind of me. And I am a kind person, so why not? Maybe not so improving after all. Some see the sights, some experiment with the hot honeyed wine of the Elder Continent. Still others pay furtive visits to a shadowed tent, whose sign promises the perfumed pantherine dances of the exotic South, performed to authentic and rousing music twice hourly. Ah, but of course they do. Now, if I remember right, there was something about a commission. And so there is. An avuncular broker has a commission. I don't know what that term means. I think it's like, if I vaguely remember right, it's uncle-like? But I'm probably completely wrong. I imagine it has to be. Well, his client has a task of modest but scriptural significance. He is conducting interviews. He meets you on the balcony of a shoreside coffee house. His handshake is effusive, his smile and cummerbund are broad. He urges you to squares of sticky baklava and a tiny glass of black coffee sweetened with a sprig of mint. I trust you won't mind answering a few questions, he asks, opening a notebook, to ensure we're on the same page, so to speak. The interview is scandalously personal. What business has he to ask such things? I mean, we can give up a secret. No worries there. An unexpected tactic. He blinks in surprise. Goodness, I must admit I expected you to lie. Never mind, never mind. Knowing you as well as I do now, he studies his notebook, too embarrassed to meet your eye. I think we can do business. You may accept the broker's commission. Oh? He orders a plate of figs soaked in honey. Tell me, what do you know about the disciples of the Thief of Faces? Or snuffers to children and Londoners. Awful creatures, eat candles, steal faces. Erasing them is a sacrament. An associate of mine recently found one in Port Carnelian. But before he could expose it, he disappeared. Maybe the snuffer got him. Or perhaps one of the port's spies. The place is stuffed with them. Your commission is to root out Port Carnelian's snuffer. Capture it. Bring it here. I'd like to ask it a question or two. He pops a fig into his mouth. Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess we have time to assist at an amnescence hospital. It stands apart from the port on a lonely seaside bluff. Amnescence is a rare disease of the Elder Continent, a slow combustion of the soul, gradually baking the vital organs. I'm sorry, what? Poets suffer worse than most, lovers worst of all. The blistered monks who run the hospital will accept any assistance. Wow, I have so many questions there. And why lovers most of all? Could it have to do with the mountain? I'm not sure. We'll assist in the cloisters, where the monks catalog the patient's dispositions, particularities, and progress. You conduct interviews, record observations, track the simmering, inexorable advancement of a dozen cases of the disease. The more phlegmatic patients endure better than the melancholy and the sanguine. The abbot commends your attention to detail. The monks are not wealthy, but they pay for your assistance with barrels of fresh well water, gold-crusted bread, and a small precious box of lemons. Time to leave, I would say. Oh, a funeral feast? Ooh. Oh, so many things to look upon. Wait, am I not to leave now? Yeah, oh, we had one more day I could have used. Oh well. Intriguing. I actually have more questions than I started this trip with. But for now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I shall see you all soon.